Weathered man, late 40s, tall and lean, grey-streaked dark hair, steel blue eyes, thin scar from left ear to chin, wearing brown leather vest over faded blue work shirt with sleeves rolled up, dark canvas trousers tucked into scuffed work boots, no gun belt. Standing in golden autumn light, with bay mare rearing behind him, Colorado ranch landscape with blazing red and gold aspens on hillside. Expression of haunted determination mixed with gentle patience, jaw clenched, hands raised to calm the frightened horse. 1882, American West. Realistic style, cinematic, Western drama. Close-up of weathered hands, late 40s, calloused and work-worn, reaching toward frightened bay mare's muzzle. Hands offering sugar cube, gentle gesture contrasting with visible strength. Golden afternoon sunlight, horse's eye visible showing fear giving way to trust. Detail of scarred knuckles and rope burns. 1882. Colorado frontier. Realistic style, cinematic, Western drama. Beautiful woman, late 30s, auburn hair pinned up with escaping wisps, warm hazel eyes, fair skin with freckles, wearing forest green calico dress and white apron. Standing on wooden ranch house porch, shading eyes against afternoon sun, pointing toward distant road, with expression of worry mixed with confusion. Solid whitewashed ranch house behind her, red barn visible, smoke curling from chimney. 1882, Colorado Territory. Realistic style, cinematic, Western drama. 5 riders approaching on dusty road through autumn landscape, led by imposing silver-haired man in expensive black suit with silver brocade vest. Burn scar visible on left side of neck, riding black horse. Behind him, 4 hard-eyed gunmen spread in loose formation, including lean figure in black duster with rattlesnake stillness. Dust cloud rising from horse's hooves, distant mountains, golden aspens lining road. Ominous atmosphere, tension palpable. 1882 American frontier. Realistic style, cinematic, Western drama. Weathered man, late 40s, grey-streaked dark hair, steel blue eyes, scar on chin, wearing brown vest over blue work shirt. Standing alone in ranch yard facing 5 mounted riders, hands at sides, no weapons visible. Expression of recognition and dread as buried memories surface, body tense. Golden afternoon light casting long shadows across yard. Ranch house with porch visible behind him, where woman watches from doorway. 1882 Colorado. Realistic style, cinematic, Western drama. Close-up portrait of imposing silver-haired man, early 50s, cold grey eyes calculating and cruel. Van Dyke beard immaculately groomed, puckered burn scar covering left side of neck from jaw to collar. Expression of cultured menace, slight smile revealing decade of obsession, finally satisfied. Wearing expensive black suit with silver brocade vest, silver-headed walking cane, visible. Sharp afternoon light creating stark shadows emphasizing gaunt features. 1882, American West. Realistic style, cinematic, Western drama. Lean man in black duster, mid-30s, lank black hair to shoulders. Narrow dark eyes like chips of obsidian. Hollow cheeks, thin mustache over cruel mouth, notch visible in left ear. Sitting motionless, on dark horse with predator's stillness, hands resting near twin tied-down pistols, rattlesnake skin band on black hat. Expression of professional assessment, studying potential prey. Dust swirling around horse's hooves, other riders blurred in background. 1882 frontier. Realistic style, cinematic, Western drama. 2 children being ushered through doorway by auburn-haired woman in green dress. Boy, 12 years old, gangly with unruly brown hair, looking back over shoulder with fear and curiosity. Girl, 8 years old, auburn braids, clutching rag doll, tears on cheeks. Mother's expression protective and frightened, hands on children's shoulders. Wooden door frame, glimpse of warm interior beyond. 1882 Colorado ranch house. Realistic style, cinematic Western drama. Silver-haired man dismounting from black horse in ranch yard, favoring left leg, silver-headed cane in hand. Facing weathered rancher who stands motionless 10 feet away. Other riders forming loose semicircle behind, cutting off escape. Tension between 2 men palpable, decades of history visible in their locked gazes. Afternoon shadows lengthening, dust settling. 1882, American frontier. realistic style, cinematic, Western drama. Close-up of gold pocket watch in silver-haired man's weathered hand. Watch face showing 347, hands frozen and unmoving. Engraved initials, WS, visible on case. Man's thumb brushing across the glass with grief and rage. Expensive black sleeve, silver cufflink visible. Dramatic lighting, emphasizing the stopped time. 1882, American West. Realistic style, cinematic, Western drama. Weathered man and auburn-haired woman at rustic kitchen table lit by oil lamp and hearth fire. Food untouched on plates. Man's head bowed, grey-streaked hair disheveled, hands flat on scarred wooden surface. Woman reaching across table to grip his hands, tears glistening in hazel eyes. Expressions of raw confession and acceptance, intimate moment of truth. Warm firelight creating shadows on log walls. 1882 cabin interior. Realistic style, cinematic, Western drama. Auburn-haired woman, late 30s, standing at darkened window looking out at night. One hand pressed against cold glass. Moonlight illuminating her profile. Silver locket at throat, catching light. Expression of fear and determination mixed, tears dried on cheeks. Simple cabin interior behind her, quilts visible on bed, fire dying in hearth. 1882, Colorado frontier. Realistic style, cinematic, Western drama. Weathered man, late 40s, grey-streaked hair, steel blue eyes haunted. Wearing only dark trousers and white undershirt. Standing alone outside barn at night, staring at ground near woodpile, where flat, dark stone slightly different from others. Starlight illuminating his tortured face, mountains looming black against star-filled sky. Expression of internal struggle, contemplating buried past. 1882, American West. Realistic style, cinematic, Western drama. Boy, 12 years old, gangly with unruly brown hair, bright blue eyes wide, freckled face, wearing oversized hand-me-down shirt and patched trousers. Standing in barn doorway wrapped in blanket against cold, bare feet on straw-covered ground, moonlight behind him creating silhouette. Looking at his father with mixture of fear, confusion, and desperate love. 1882 Colorado ranch, realistic style, cinematic, Western drama. Father and son sitting together on hay bale inside moonlit barn. Weathered man with arm around boy's thin shoulders. Man's grey-streaked hair disheveled, scar visible on chin, expression of painful honesty. Boy listening intently, tears on freckled cheeks trying to understand. Hay bales around them, farming tools on walls, moonlight streaming through gaps in wooden slats. 1882 frontier, realistic style, cinematic, Western drama. Dawn breaking over Colorado mountains, pink and gold light spreading across Ranch Valley. Weathered man, late 40s, grey-streaked hair, scar on chin, wearing brown vest and blue work shirt. Saddling horse in corral with deliberate movements, expression resolute but heavy. Ranch house visible in background with smoke from chimney, aspens catching first light on hillsides. 1882 American West, realistic style, cinematic, Western drama. Interior of blacksmith shop, forge cold and dark, large double doors closed and barred. Grizzled man, early 60s, white beard stained yellow from tobacco, missing left hand replaced by iron hook, wearing worn Union cavalry coat. Holding shotgun with trembling single hand, one wild eye peering through crack in door. Fear and loyalty battling on weathered face. Anvil and horseshoes visible in shadows. 1882, frontier town. Realistic style, cinematic, Western drama. Two old friends in blacksmith shop, grizzled one-handed man in cavalry coat, and weathered rancher in brown vest facing each other. Window light revealing three watching gunmen on street outside. Both men's expressions grim, discussing impossible odds. Weapons cabinet visible in background, dust motes floating in dim light. 1882, Colorado town. Realistic style, cinematic, Western drama. Sheriff's office interior, solid man, late 40s, brown hair going grey at temples, thick moustache, wearing brown vest with polished star badge. Sitting at wooden desk with cold coffee cup, papers scattered, gun rack on wall behind. Weathered visitor standing before desk, hat in hands. Neither man meeting the other's eyes, weight of impossible choices between them. Wanted posters visible on walls. 1882 Frontier Town. Realistic style, cinematic, western drama. Weathered man on horseback, riding at canter through autumn landscape toward distant ranch, viewed from behind. Grey streaked hair beneath worn hat, brown vest visible, horse's mane flying. Mountains rising behind, aspens blazing gold and crimson, sun climbing toward noon. Expression of man racing against time, knowing what awaits. Dust rising from hooves. 1882 Colorado Territory. Realistic style, cinematic, western drama. Ranch house porch, beautiful auburn-haired woman in forest green dress standing with arms wrapped around herself protectively. Behind her in doorway, 2 children visible. Boy 12 with brown hair trying to look brave, girl 8 with auburn braids clutching ragdoll with tears on face. All 3 watching approaching rider with expressions of desperate hope. Warm morning light, mountains in distance. 1882 Colorado, realistic style, cinematic, western drama. Weathered man and auburn-haired woman in fierce, desperate embrace on ranch porch. His grey-streaked hair pressed against her auburn locks, her arms tight around his chest. His work-worn hands gripping her shoulders as if afraid to let go. Behind them, 2 children watching solemnly from doorway, boy's hand on girl's shoulder. Expression of love facing mortality. 1882 American West. Realistic style, cinematic, western drama. Interior of root cellar lit by single flickering candle, earthen walls close around. 12-year-old boy with brown hair and 8-year-old girl with auburn braids sitting close together on wooden crate. Girl clutching ragdoll named Miss Jenny, boy's arm around her shoulders protectively. Both faces pale with fear and incomprehension, eyes wide in candlelight. Preserved vegetables in jars on rough shelves. 1882 Colorado Frontier, realistic style, cinematic, western drama. Weathered man kneeling in root cellar dirt before 2 children. Twin ivory-handled Colt revolvers now visible on his hips. 12-year-old boy crying quietly but trying to be brave. 8-year-old girl with arms wrapped around father's neck. Man's expression of fierce love and terrible purpose, holding them tight. Candlelight casting long shadows on earthen walls. 1882 American West. Realistic style, cinematic, western drama. Weathered man, late 40s, standing alone behind weathered barn, staring at disturbed earth where flat dark stone has been moved aside. Hole in ground revealing oilcloth wrapped bundle clearly shaped like twin holsters and guns. Expression of a man facing his demons after decade of hiding, hands clenched at sides. Late morning light, barn shadow stretching across scene. 1882 Colorado. Realistic style, cinematic, western drama. Close-up of calloused weathered hands carefully unwrapping oilcloth to reveal twin Colt Peacemaker revolvers with yellowed ivory handles carved with intricate ghost pattern. Guns gleaming clean and oiled despite years buried. Leather holsters supple and well-preserved. Dramatic lighting emphasizing the terrible beauty of the weapons. Morning light glinting on steel. 1882 Frontier. Realistic style. Cinematic, western drama. Weathered man, late 40s, grey-streaked hair, steel blue eyes now hard and cold, scar from ear to chin prominent. Now wearing black leather gun belt with twin Colt Peacemakers, ivory handles visible at hips. Standing in barn doorway, silhouette against bright exterior, transformation visible in posture and bearing. The ghost awakening after decade of sleep. 1882 Colorado. Realistic style, cinematic, western drama. Weathered man on horseback riding toward frontier town, viewed from behind. Twin Colts visible on hips, grey-streaked hair beneath worn hat, brown vest over blue shirt. Empty main street stretching before him between wooden buildings, church steeple visible at far end. Sun directly overhead, casting harsh shadows, high noon approaching. 1882, Colorado town. Realistic style, cinematic, western drama. Frontier town main street completely deserted, all doors closed, all shutters drawn. Tumbleweeds rolling across packed dirt. Imposing silver-haired man in immaculate black suit standing on hotel's second-floor balcony. Burn scar visible on neck, looking down at street like king surveying battlefield. Expression of triumphant anticipation. Decade of hunting finally ending. Noon sun blazing overhead. 1882, American West, realistic style, cinematic, Western drama. Silver-haired man descending wooden hotel stairs to street, silver-headed cane tapping each step, pearl-handled revolver at hip. Around him, hired gunmen emerging from doorways and alleys, forming loose circle around town center. Lean man in black duster visible, leaning against post with arms crossed, watching with predator's patience. Dust swirling in empty street. 1882, Colorado town. Realistic style, cinematic, Western drama. Two men facing each other in empty frontier street, 20 feet apart. Weathered man, late 40s, grey-streaked hair, scar on chin, twin ivory-handled Colts on hips, stance relaxed but ready, facing silver-haired man in black suit with pearl-handled revolver and silver cane. Dust swirling between them in noon light, buildings watching like silent witnesses. 1882, American frontier. Realistic style, cinematic, Western drama. Close-up of silver-haired man's face, early 50s, cold grey eyes now burning with decade of concentrated rage and grief. Van Dyke beard trembling as he speaks, burn scar livid against pale skin on neck, madness finally unleashed from behind civilized mask. Pointing silver-headed cane at opponent's chest. Harsh noon sun creating deep shadows under eyes and cheekbones. 1882, Colorado town. Realistic style, cinematic, Western drama. Close-up of weathered man's face, late 40s, steel blue eyes calm and empty despite confrontation, grey-streaked hair beneath worn hat, thin scar from ear to chin catching light. Expression of acceptance and deadly focus, no anger, no fear, just purpose. Hands at sides near ivory-handled Colts but not yet touching. Blazing noon sun behind him creating halo effect. 1882, American West, realistic style, cinematic, Western drama. Church bell tower silhouetted against blazing white noon sky. Iron bell visible mid-swing, rope taut. Sound waves almost visible emanating, marking the hour of reckoning. Dramatic backlighting creating stark black and white contrast. Sense of time running out, fate arriving. Birds scattering from tower. 1882, frontier town, realistic style, cinematic, Western drama, split second of the draw captured. Weathered man's hands blur of motion, pulling twin Colts from holsters in perfect synchronized arc. Muzzle flashes erupting from both barrels simultaneously. Silver-haired man's pearl-handled revolver barely half raised. Expression of shock at impossible speed. Dust, frozen in air, noon light harsh on both figures. 1882, American West. Realistic style, cinematic, Western drama. Silver-haired man staggering backward. Two dark holes in expensive black suit left of center. Blood spreading rapidly across silver brocade vest. Expression transforming from shock to strange acceptance. Decade of obsession ending in heartbeats. Pearl-handled revolver dropping from nerveless fingers, silver-headed cane falling to dust. Hotel boardwalk behind him. 1882, Colorado town. Realistic style. Cinematic. Western drama. Weathered man kneeling beside dying silver-haired man in dusty street. Colts holstered now, one hand on dying man's shoulder. Silver-haired man's grey eyes clouding, blood-staining black suit and beard. Burn scar somehow peaceful now against paling skin. Enemy offering final words to enemy in last moment. Noon sun overhead, empty street around them. 1882 frontier. Realistic style, cinematic, Western drama. Close-up of silver-haired man's face in moment of death, grey eyes glazing and losing focus, Van Dyke beard stained with blood, burn scar livid against ashen skin. Expression frozen somewhere between hatred and release. Obsession finally ending. Single tear track visible on weathered cheek. Dust settling around him, blood pooling in dirt. 1882, American West. Realistic style, cinematic, Western drama. Lean man in black duster pushing off from post and walking towards center of street, mid-30s, lank black hair to shoulders, narrow dark eyes bright with anticipation, hollow cheeks, thin mustache over smiling cruel mouth. Hands hovering near twin tied-down pistols, rattlesnake band on black hat. Spurs jingling with each deliberate step. Weathered man turning to face new threat. 1882 Colorado town. Realistic style, cinematic, Western drama. Two gunfighters facing each other in empty street, bodies of dead men behind one of them. Weathered man, late 40s, gray-streaked hair, twin ivory-handled Colts at ready. Lean man in black duster, lank hair, twin tied-down pistols. Predator's smile. 10 feet between them. Expressions of professionals measuring each other, mutual respect mixed with deadly intent. Noon sun harsh overhead. 1882 Frontier. Realistic style, cinematic, Western drama. Close-up of lean gunfighter's hands hovering over twin pistol grips, fingers twitching with anticipation, leather holsters tied low on thighs. Black duster pushed back, rattlesnake skin hatband visible at top of frame. Sunlight glinting on pistol handles, dust motes floating in still air. Tension of moment before violence. 1882, American West. Realistic style, cinematic, Western drama. The second draw, faster than the first. Twin muzzle flashes from weathered man's Colts catching lean gunfighter before his weapons, clear leather. Black duster, flying back from impact. Expression of genuine surprise and admiration dawning on hollow-cheeked face. Smoke and dust swirling, shell casings caught mid-flight. 1882, Colorado town. Realistic style, cinematic, Western drama. Lean gunfighter in black duster falling backward, 2 holes in chest inches apart. Twin pistols half drawn and unfired. Lank black hair flying, rattlesnake band hat tumbling through air. Expression of acceptance and strange satisfaction, fastest gun meeting faster. Dust cloud rising as body hits ground, spurs catching light. 1882 American Frontier. Realistic style, cinematic, Western drama. Weathered man standing alone between 2 bodies in empty frontier street. Twin Colts, smoking in hands, ivory handles gleaming. Grey-streaked hair, scar on chin, steel blue eyes empty of emotion, face showing exhaustion of violence. Around him, hired guns emerging from doorways and alleys, dozen armed men frozen in indecision, looking at dead employers. 1882 Colorado town. Realistic style, cinematic, Western drama. Dozen hired guns holstering weapons and walking away from confrontation. Backs turned to weathered man still standing over bodies. One older gunman leading the retreat. Expression of professional accepting job is done. Empty frontier street, wooden buildings, noon sun beginning to descend westward. Dust settling over scene. 1882, American West. Realistic style, cinematic, Western drama. Weathered man standing motionless over 2 bodies in empty street, smoking Colts finely holstered, grey-streaked hair disheveled and dusty, steel blue eyes staring at nothing, face showing hollow aftermath of violence. Sheriff approaching cautiously from office, badge glinting, hand near but not on gun. Late afternoon shadows lengthening. 1882 Frontier town. Realistic style, cinematic, Western drama. Sheriff, solid man, late 40s with polished badge and thick mustache, placing gentle hand on shoulder of weathered gunfighter standing over bodies. 2 men in silent acknowledgement of necessary violence. Sheriff's expression of lawman accepting hard truths. Gunfighter's expression of man finding no satisfaction in survival. Bodies being covered by emerging townspeople in background. 1882 Colorado town. Realistic style, cinematic, Western drama. Weathered man mounting horse in frontier town street. Twin Colts visible on hips. Gray-streaked hair beneath worn hat. Looking back once at the town, at the bodies, at the life he's ended today. Expression of exhaustion and determination mixed. Town coming back to life around him, people emerging from hiding. Late afternoon, golden light. 1882, American West. Realistic style, cinematic, Western drama. Weathered man riding away from frontier town, viewed from behind, twin Colts on hips, grey-streaked hair visible beneath hat. Town receding in distance, church steeple growing smaller. Horse moving at steady walk, no hurry now that violence is done. Mountains ahead, ranch somewhere beyond. Late afternoon light painting landscape gold. 1882, Colorado territory. Realistic style, cinematic, Western drama. Ranch house porch, auburn-haired woman and two children running toward arriving rider. Beautiful woman in green dress, arms outstretched, tears streaming down face. Boy 12 with brown hair running ahead, girl 8 with auburn braids and rag doll clutched in arms close behind. All three faces transformed from fear to overwhelming joy and relief. Golden sunset light behind mountains. 1882, Colorado. Realistic style, cinematic, western drama. Family reunion in ranch yard, 4 people holding each other in desperate embrace. Weathered man, late 40s, still wearing twin colts but forgotten now, arms wrapped around wife and children. Auburn-haired woman sobbing against his chest. 12-year-old boy pressed against his side, 8-year-old girl clutching his leg, rag doll dangling from one hand. All 4 faces showing relief, tears, overwhelming love. Sunset painting scene gold. 1882 Frontier. Realistic style, cinematic, western drama. Auburn-haired woman's hands carefully taking twin Colt revolvers from weathered man's hips. Her hazel eyes meeting his steel blue gaze with understanding beyond words. His hands releasing the guns without resistance, trusting her completely. Intimate moment of burden being shared. Golden sunset light streaming across ranch yard. 1882 Colorado. Realistic style, cinematic, western drama. Interior of ranch house, twin ivory-handled Colt peacemakers hanging on wooden peg beside front door. Oil lamplight gleaming on steel barrels and yellowed ivory handles with ghost pattern. Guns present but not dominant. Accessible but not worn. The past acknowledged but not controlling. Family visible in soft focus in background at dinner table. 1882, American West. Realistic style, cinematic, western drama. Family dinner scene around rustic kitchen table. Weathered man at head. Auburn-haired woman beside him. 12-year-old boy and 8-year-old girl with rag doll in lap completing circle. Food steaming on plates. Oil lamps glowing warmly. Fire crackling in stone hearth. All 4 faces showing exhaustion mixed with relief and quiet joy of survival. Guns visible on peg by door, but forgotten. 1882 Colorado Frontier. Realistic style, cinematic, western drama. Ranch house porch at night. Weathered man and auburn-haired woman sitting close together on wooden bench, her head resting on his shoulder, his arm around her. Stars blazing in vast dark sky, Milky Way visible, mountains silhouetted against heavens. Both faces, peaceful, content, 2 survivors reflecting on day that almost ended everything. Warm light spilling from windows behind them. 1882, American West. Realistic style, cinematic, western drama. Close-up of 2 hands intertwined on worn wooden porch railing, one weathered and calloused from years of work and violence, one feminine with work-worn fingers and simple wedding band. Hands pressed together in intimate connection. Starlight illuminating the simple gesture of love and commitment. Silver wedding bands catching faint light. 1882 Colorado Frontier. Realistic style, cinematic, western drama. Weathered man sitting alone by dying fire in ranch house, late night, family asleep. Gray-streaked hair disheveled, steel blue eyes staring into flames, expression of man processing, impossible day. Guns visible on peg by door, casting shadow in firelight. Single oil lamp burning low, creating intimate scene of reflection and exhaustion. 1882, American West. Realistic style, cinematic, western drama. Grizzled one-handed man in Union cavalry coat riding horse up to ranch in early morning light. White beard stained yellow, iron hook gleaming where left hand should be. Weathered rancher coming out to meet him on porch. Both men's expressions showing weight of shared history and survival. Mountains behind, aspens golden, peaceful scene after violence. 1882, Colorado. Realistic style, cinematic, western drama. 2 old friends sitting on ranch porch in morning light. Grizzled one-handed man and weathered rancher, coffee cups in hands. Both faces lined with years and violence, but eyes showing something like peace. Mountains visible beyond fields, cattle grazing, life continuing despite everything. Expression of survivors acknowledging what they've been through. 1882. American Frontier. Realistic style, cinematic, western drama. Weathered man teaching 12-year-old boy to shoot behind barn, 1 week later. Man positioning boy's arms, showing proper stance and grip. Both faces serious, focused on responsibility of the lesson. Single revolver in boy's small hands, man's Colts holstered at his hips. Mountains beyond, Aspen's golden, peaceful teaching moment. 1882 Colorado. Realistic style, cinematic, Western drama. Close-up of weathered man's hands guiding boy's hands, holding revolver, teaching proper grip. Calloused fingers positioning smaller fingers with patient care. Weapon held with respect and caution. Lesson about responsibility more than violence. Morning light on intertwined hands. 1882, American West. Realistic style, cinematic, Western drama. 8-year-old girl with auburn braids sitting on fence rail watching father teach brother to shoot, ragdoll Miss Jenny in her lap. Expression thoughtful beyond her years, hazel eyes taking everything in. Ranch yard beyond, mother visible in kitchen window watching. Golden afternoon light, peaceful domestic scene with undercurrent of hard lessons. 1882, Colorado frontier. Realistic style, cinematic, Western drama. Family portrait scene on ranch porch, 1 month later. Weathered man standing behind seated auburn-haired woman, hand on her shoulder. 12-year-old boy standing straight and proud beside father. 8-year-old girl sitting on mother's lap with ragdoll. All 4 faces showing hard-won peace, survivors who have come through fire together. Ranch visible behind, mountains in distance. 1882, American West. Realistic style, cinematic, Western drama. Epilogue images, 5 years later. Expanded ranch panorama, 300 cattle grazing in valley below. Larger ranch house with additional rooms, red barn with new roof, multiple outbuildings. Aspens blazing autumn gold on surrounding hills, snow-capped mountains in distance. Prosperous, peaceful, the legacy built from redemption. Wide establishing shot, 1880s Colorado territory. Realistic style, cinematic, Western drama. Young man, 17 years old, tall and strong with auburn-touched brown hair. Father's watchful eyes in mother's gentle face. Wearing work clothes, sitting tall on horse beside ranch hands. Expression of quiet confidence, competence without arrogance. No gun visible but holster on saddle. Cattle in background, mountains beyond, 1880s Colorado. Realistic style, cinematic, Western drama. Young woman, 13 years old, auburn hair now pinned up elegantly like her mother's. Sharp, intelligent, hazel eyes, wearing neat dress suitable for town. Sitting on ranch porch, with stack of books beside her, reading intently. Expression of someone destined for greater things beyond ranch life. Worn ragdoll visible on table beside her, cherished childhood memory. 1880s American frontier. Realistic style, cinematic, Western drama. Aged man, now mid-50s, grey hair dominant now, face deeply lined but eyes finally at peace. Standing on expanded ranch porch watching sunset, arm around auburn-haired woman, now mid-40s, silver threading through her hair, still beautiful with age. Both faces showing contentment, earned through decades of struggle and love. Mountains gilded by dying light. 1880s Colorado. Realistic style, cinematic, Western drama. Aged couple from behind, standing on porch watching their adult children in the yard below. 17-year-old son unsaddling horse by barn, 13-year-old daughter walking toward house with books in arms. Parents' posture showing pride and peace, the legacy they've built visible in the children they've raised. Sunset light painting scene gold. 1880s American West. Realistic style, cinematic, Western drama. Ranch house interior, twin ivory-handled Colt peacemakers still hanging on peg beside door, dusty now, clearly untouched for years. Ghost pattern on yellowed handles, visible but faded. Family photographs in frames on walls showing years of peaceful life. Oil lamplight gleaming on metal, the past present but dormant. Weapons at rest, 1880s Colorado frontier. Realistic style, cinematic, Western drama. Close-up of dusty Colt revolver hanging on peg, cobweb visible between handle and wall, years of peace evident in neglect. Through window beside door, family visible gathering for dinner, warm light, laughter almost audible. Contrast between violent past and peaceful present. 1880s American West. Realistic style, cinematic, Western drama. 3 generations visible through ranch house window from outside. Aged man and woman at table, young man and young woman with them, animated dinner conversation. Warm lamplight spilling through glass, fire visible in hearth. Mountains dark against stars outside, peaceful night settling over prosperous ranch. The legacy complete. 1880s Colorado territory. Realistic style, cinematic, Western drama. Aged weathered man, standing alone at fence at edge of property, looking out at mountains as sun sets. Grey hair catching dying light, lined face peaceful, posture relaxed. Behind him, sounds of family gathering for dinner drift from warm lit house. Expression of man finally at peace with who he was and who he became. Final image. 1880s American frontier. Realistic style, cinematic, Western drama.